we just came from Sydney, so if you guys didn't see that vlog, make sure you check it out. But we were here for the rest of our time in Australia, and so far it is certainly a different vibe. There is much more beach life, there's less people everywhere, the traffic isn't so crazy, it's a little bit easier to drive around, but we are tired because we've been flying. We just got sushi at this place called Sushi Train, I think, which I thought was amazing. We're gonna give you a quick tour of the Airbnb and then we're gonna lie down because we are exhausted.
That flight had a screaming baby for the whole duration, and then this other couple was watching videos on their phone with no headphones.
Yeah,
it was a terrible flight. But I guess we get for a discounted airline in Australia.
Here we have the hidden laundry, which is actually quite a bit of space, given that it's
some beach towels.
Yeah, with some beach towels. A lot of these Airbnbs and that are condos, they're way smaller than this. They just have this without a counter, so that's very nice. We have a different looking refrigerator. I don't know what. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so we got like a. Well, it's just like you can grab the drinks, I guess. Okay. We gotta go grocery shopping. Stove. Coffee maker, beautiful white countertops. They gave us a chocolate milk bar, the keychains for parking. Then we have, again, the living room. So a beautiful picture here. Have the downtown area. I don't know, kind of gives Fort Lauderdale vibes. I wouldn't say Miami, but if you guys have been to Fort Lauderdale, up along Hollywood in Florida, super pretty area. Tons of restaurants and shopping and stuff down here, and then on the other side of the road there's a casino.
A lot of hotels in this area too. So like if you didn't want the Airbnb route, there's a lot of hotels. The Sofitel is right there, and there's a few other NB hotels. So yeah, a lot of hotels in this area as well.
And there's a mall right across the street connected to, well, not connected to the casino, but pretty close to the casino we might try out. Actually just saw this mirror, which I like pretty well. So Tim, take us into the bedroom.
I like the light fixtures.
It's really pretty.
They even have a nice little closet shelving if you like.
Kind of a built-in closet.
You had a suitcase and stuff in there, so that's.
Again, views.
Yeah, and a beautiful view of this one. And then that bedroom has a bathroom and shower.
Actually, that toilet is really cute.
Yeah.
It's like very round.
And the master, which is actually a really good size room.
Especially for, again, a beach condo. This is great.
We'll go here. The closet Billie was pretty impressed with. It's
and there's built-in shelving.
Yeah, very big closet.
So we are just storing our suitcases in here because otherwise we're gonna run into them, which is gonna be annoying. But very clean, coastal, gray, light. I don't know if this is real or not.
I'm a big fan of TVs in the master, so we got a TV there. Then we can get to the outdoor seating area from the master as well. She's like this whole, it's all a balcony, like the whole length of the condo is a walkable balcony. King size bed, which is nice. I think our last Airbnb had a queen, so
have more room there.
Bed, and then even windows into the bathroom. So like this place is window overload.
But there's a curtain.
Yeah, but it's like nice like window overload, so much light. But you get like some downtown city background. Then it's like boom, there's the beach.
And with this condo complex, that's technically the other building.
Yeah.
If you book an Airbnb, I don't know if you can prefer a building, but I quite like this one, so. And
the master bath. I like to try to find places that can always be hit that have a tub. Billie likes taking baths. And then the shower.
Shower, I actually think the sinks are pretty fun. They don't have storage, but they have a shelf of storage, and then you got like a ton of storage within here.
They even supplied sunscreen for us here, some shampoo, conditioner, hair dryer.
And the outlets are up and above, so.
Yeah, kid stuff, I guess, if you don't have a kid. Oh, they got aloe here.
Oh, we're gonna go buy that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Airbnb, for supplying the aloe for us, because we are very burned. If you saw any of our previous videos from Sydney, we got fried on Bondi. But we are gonna go ahead.
Did you see your full-length mirror here? Full-length mirror in the master.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Tim can check himself out. But we're gonna go ahead and nap. I gotta charge the camera because that went dead halfway through this tour. And we'll see you guys probably tomorrow, so we don't know what you're gonna do yet. Adios. It's currently
Sunday.
Sunday. It's really hard to get your days.
Well, and I just talked to all my family, so one negative aspect is I missed my nephew's birthday party, so I feel a little guilty about that. And so their birthday party is on Saturday, so I just got done with FaceTime and all of them. And so like they keep on saying, you know, it's Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. So my head's like, oh, Saturday, but no, it's Sunday here. But one thing I am thankful for is like 5 inches back home of snow, and it's nice and sunny right now here, so that's nice.
I actually got a really cute photo from my dad with the girls back home who are the Huskies, and they're loving it. They look really beautiful. But as mentioned, I think we did yesterday, it's supposed to rain here, and right now we're getting a pocket of somewhat sunshine. So we're going to head over to the beach, walk over there, grab a couple drinks. Since we got scorched in Sydney, I keep forgetting I packed sunscreen. So I went ahead and applied sunscreen. This is actually from like Brazil or something. I don't know, it's just left in my suitcase.
It's only a 30 SPF. I think they have a 51.
Yeah, but like this has carrot in it, and I guess if there's carrot in your sunscreen, it helps make you tan.
Really? I've never heard that.
At least in South America, that's what they propose. So I've been getting some work done here, uploading some video and vlog stuff. Tim was talking to his family, so we're gonna head there, and then I think we're gonna make a shopping day. We gotta head to the grocery store. The grocery store here is Woolworth. That's like the #1.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Billie talk. I'm gonna get my swim trunks on.
Well, I really don't have anything to say other than we're gonna head to the beach. We'll let you guys know how that goes. So we're at the beach. We just walked through the pedestrian mall, which is really pretty. Something to know about Gold Coast though, Timmy can vouch, it is way more humid here. I mean, I literally feel like I'm in Florida. I know it just rained, but it's super duper humid. Looks like there's some volleyball going on here. There's so many different food options. It's so plentiful, so do not worry about finding like a bar, a coffee shop, a place to eat. They're like everywhere. But yeah, there's volleyball going on. We're gonna try to catch some rays. If you look at the sky, there's like no sun right now, so maybe we'll get burned, maybe we won't. We're just gonna try to soak in what we can. The wind is super annoying. Okay, we're facing the sun now. Good job, babe. After the beach, we decided to hit up this place called Madison on the boulevard. Tons and tons of food. Tim made his own sandwich, which looks very clubby. Actually, that looks very good. Then he got carrot cake. I got their avocado toast, which looks pretty good as well. Certainly a busy spot, given that it's Sunday. So yeah, we're gonna dive in. I went to pick up Starbucks. It's my first Starbucks that I've gotten in Australia. Their coffee's not that different. If you go to coffee or you go to Starbucks in some other countries, it can taste very different and their menu's different. Australia's pretty darn similar to the US. I wanted to give you guys a little rundown of what we did yesterday because I really wasn't vlogging. There wasn't a whole lot of reason to. We went to the outlet mall, the one and only outlet mall. They had some decent stores like Lacoste, Glassons, which is an Australian brand. They had a Nike, so on and so forth. And they had way more stores than we thought they did. Trouble is, it started downpouring when we got there. So we got some shopping done. Actually, Tim did the majority of the shopping because the Nike outlet was an additional 40% off. So like 6 things for 160 US. And like good things, not just like t-shirts.
Got 2 pairs of shoes, sweatpants, t-shirt, and the bomber jacket, so 5 things. Get your expectations that if you go to the Nike store, everything's gonna be 40% off. It was like just super random that this weekend we went and they had an additional 40% off their store. So you can Google like dates they're gonna have sales, maybe they have them up there, but yeah, I got everything for the price the bomber jacket normally would have been.
Even the Lacoste store, everything was 20% off. So like they still have a lot of good deals and there's plenty of places to eat. Later then, we drove back, took a nap, and ended up trying to find dinner, and it was late. We tried to go to this hot pot Korean barbecue buffet because it said they closed at 9:30. And we got there at 8, maybe before 8.
It would have been before 8 because we got to the other place like just slightly after 8.
So we get there and the guy says he's not seeing anybody. And we're like, okay, this is really weird. Clearly you have food out there, but you can't really argue with that. And we detoured and went to this other buffet. We get there after 8, like 8:15,
yeah.
And they won't let us in. Which, again, you can see the food on the buffet platter. There's people sitting there still eating, and the lady's like, well, we have to give you a 2-hour window. And we're thinking, okay, we don't take 2 hours to eat, there's 2 of us. Why can't we just eat what you guys have available? Because they're gonna throw it away anyway, it's a buffet. And we're probably gonna take 30 minutes to eat, if that. And still, no. She's like, we're starting to put the food away. So the place we thought we would be safe at was not safe. And then I was like, well, maybe we just go to the casino because we know they're gonna stay open. I had this place saved called Valentino's Italian. So we went there. They said they were closing at 11. So we're like, dear God, hopefully this place stays open. We went there and they sat us. And I called them beforehand, but they said they would have to seat us by 9. And they close at 11. So we figured out that there must be this 2-hour policy in Australia between sitting down to eat and then closing time. Like in the US, if the place closes at 11, you could get there at 10:30 and pretty much be fine.
If I had to guess, that's for restaurants, so that say they close after 9. I have a hard time believing like a restaurant says they close at 8 that they're not letting anybody in after 6. Like, I would say that's probably applied to restaurants that are closing after 9.
I mean, we don't know because there's not a ton of restaurants that are open late where we are. And we're very close to Broad Beach, if not on Broad Beach. Really strange that you'd have to get there by 6:30, but we even saw, because we had to sit outside, people coming and trying to get tables and they would turn them down. And I just find that really funny because even while we were eating, there are people that would come and get to-go orders. So why is it that to-go orders can get food? And I get that you have to like clean the table up, but clearly the kitchens aren't closed. Anyway, we talked about this for like 5 hours because we're really confused by it. However, that's just something to keep in mind. In Australia, at least in Queensland, that seems to be the thing. Tim's driving. However, he has exciting news for you guys.
Rocket mates, the secret's over. We are now here at the Crocodile Hunter Zoo. I have dreamt of this day since I was a child. Since the crocodile hunter even got stung in the heart by a stingray, I have always dreamt to be at the Crocodile Hunters Australia Zoo. And now we are here today, and guess what? We are going to take you with us on the day. I think first we might try to find the tigers. Shows at 11, which is in about an hour. Don't want to miss that. Then we got to go to the Croc Stadium to see the best show on earth that the king himself, Steve Irwin, started. So enjoy today, mates. Let's get started. Croc pose. Girl, where's my food?
This guy looks so happy. So we found this kangaroo and we think it's got something in its pouch. Okay, just when I pulled the camera out, he stopped. Or she stopped. Come on. You know you're being filmed. Maybe not. Anyway, he was playing with, oh, we're up. She's detecting something.
Between 120 and 130 kilos. Oh dear. He doesn't know where that piece just went. It's just flung halfway across the pool, but that's okay. He'll find it later. That's what's so enriching and stimulating about what we do put out here. This gives these guys a chance to actually think and use their mind. So tigers don't typically have very good eyesight when it comes to up close. tigers are designed to look out into the well that he has gone in the water behind me. So he's a pretty cool individual, Nelson. Now he was actually born here at the zoo all those 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And Nelson was actually born as a single cub. So tigers generally have around 2 or 3 tigers on average in their litter. They can have anywhere up to 6, but it's not uncommon for them to have just 1 as well. So Nelson was born here as a single cub. Now they're a lot like our molars. They're like big meat shears that shear off chunks of meat to then be able to digest down. So that's how they work, eating that meat. Now you may see from time to time tigers chewing on grass in their habitat as well. You guys are enjoying your day and continue to do so.
He's gonna go under. He's so cute.
He's playing peekaboo.
That's adorable.
He's very cunning. He will sit here and sometimes it will take a very long time to get a strike out. You can see his tail winding up there. Have a little bit of a cheeky look here. He's not set up. And this is when it gets really scary. You can see there's the strike there from Casper. He's really having a go today. He's lunging at me. Give it up for it, guys. Pop a frog, just about anything they think they can fit in their mouth, they will have a go at. What they'll do, so they'll angle their head up just like Casper's doing here, and they'll use their tail once again to propel themselves up and out of the water. We'll just get his attention here.
He's grunting.
I told you.
Oh. This is terrible. Oh! He's going in strong. Oh!
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Is it exciting? Oh, why are they?
He fell off.
Oh, he's tired now.
She didn't give consent.
Why?
We wanted to do a review on the Steve Irwin plays in particular.
It was incredible. Probably one of the nicest zoos. Like by nice, I'm not saying the most animals or anything like that.
Really clean and well put together.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of felt like you were like just in a park taking a stroll and there's animals there. Their gator show is really cool, and like their crocoseum, I think they called it. And then they actually had a really cool lion show at the tiger show with the great tiger exhibit. Like the tiger was pretty legit. That was awesome. Animals had a ton of room there at the zoo too. It was very animal friendly for them as well. They have a lot of like Steve Irwin like remembrance or tributes, so it's like not like it's been forgotten there. Would I like tell you if you're going to Sydney to just take a one-day flight up there? No. But I definitely think if you're staying like in the Gold Coast area, it's definitely worth taking a day trip up there to go check it out. And also a little tidbit, book way far in advance, but I believe you actually can cuddle a koala there, but like they were all sold out today. But also like instead of spending a bunch of money, we didn't spend a lot. I think we only spent like 25 bucks per person for the photo at the other place that we did, like the meet the koala. But you actually can pet the koalas at no cost at the Steve Irwin Zoo, at the Australia Zoo too. I call it the Steve Irwin Zoo.
They call it a pet.
Yeah, but you actually can like pet the koalas at no cost, take your picture like next to them at no cost. So if you really want to see a koala and not spend any additional money to do it, I do that. Probably the downside I'd say of the zoo, like too, is gate-wise, it's probably definitely on the expensive end for a zoo. I think it was like 60 some bucks per person to get in, which for a zoo is pretty pricey, but it's going to a good cause, and the zoo is in a really good like upkeep.
I would say, as with the admission cost, I didn't think the food was terribly priced. I had a salad that I think was a little over $10. Tim got a burger, chicken nuggets, and fries. And usually it's pretty standard that meals around here and in Australia are like in that 20 to 30 range. So I thought for an amusement park, those were decent.
I remember the negative. The other negative was it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so like there's really no quick way to get there unless you're actually staying on the property. They do have a resort that looks pretty cool though. Like includes zoo admission and it's got a pool and everything. But that would probably be their downside. It's just that it is kind of like isolated, but the positive of that is it gives the animals a lot of room, and they have a really cool hospital that you can just kind of take a quick peek in as well too.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour drive from Gold Coast, so obviously if you live in Brisbane, it's about half that. Tim's right though, it's really not, there's not like gas stations nearby, there's no restaurants. The hotel I think is fairly pricey if you guys end up staying there. If you go, they have a world-renowned restaurant like Top Chef there if you're a foodie. Only one real place to eat. It does say on the map that there's all these places for drinks. The drinks just mean a drinking fountain. I was never huge into the crocodile. I think he's a great guy and it was certainly interesting. A little bit disappointed at the Crocoseum show because the actual croc part was like 15% of the total show, but it was still good. It was just, we were in the sun, it was really hot. And the cafe does have really fresh foods. I liked how family oriented it is because the family does own the zoo. They have a ton of throwbacks, like Tim said, of Steve, and really reinforced the idea to protect wildlife. They had a koala nursery, which was really great. They have several areas for koalas and kangaroos that you can feed, and the wombats. So I feel like as a zoo, it's very positive, and they have some of the biggest enclosures for the animals. So it's not like a normal zoo where you go there and you're like feeling really bad that the animals are trapped in there and the animals look sad. I feel like the animals all seemed like they're in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, I think there actually is 2 food places, so we didn't walk all the way down to the meerkats. I think there's a cafe way down there, the map said. So I do think there's 2 places to eat. If you do go to like the croc restaurant, if you like go kind of past the register, they do have like a little sushi area. So if you're wanting some sushi, they do have it there. And then
coffee. Yeah,
if you get there early, you can actually sit and like we were a little late to lunch, but you can sit and actually like look over the crocodile enclosures while you're eating.
And another thing you should absolutely do, we didn't have to pay for some reason because there was no way to give money and no one was taking money. The animal hospital is a little hard to find. It's across the parking lot too. We saw a koala getting some treatment. He had a little IV in his arm, which was really sweet. And they show you the current patients they have. So it's not just a typical place where you give your donation, you have no idea where it's going. You literally see the inside of the vet clinic and what they're doing to save the animals.
And don't hold me to this, but I think this is like one of the busiest like animal hospitals, at least in Australia.
It's a good size.
I'm not going to say in the world. They also have a very successful breeding program. I think they said they have like 7 or 8 tigers actually there at the zoo.
The tigers have like 2+ acres.
Yeah, it's really impressive. If you're a Steve Irwin fan, like I was a big crocodile hunter fan growing up, I would highly recommend it. Like it's just worth going to say, hey, I went. Would I go back if I'm in Australia? Probably not, just because of how far away it is from everything. But if I was in Brisbane, I would probably go back.
And he got a Steve Irwin lookalike shirt.
Yeah, I am the Crocodile Hunter 2.0, but keep that on the down low.
So certainly worth going to. The next thing we wanted to quickly talk about, there is the Pacific Fair Mall, which is the only mall that's not the outlet mall, which is actually just directly across from us, pretty much. It's right next to the casino, the Star Casino, which I think used to be called the Jupiter Casino. The mall looks way smaller than it is. You go in there and there's so many different paths to go. They don't have a ton of American brands, but they do have Sephora, Lulu, Zara,
I would
JD.
say the mall looks very kind of sketchy and cheap from the outside.
But inside, it's like the seating arrangements are so nice. I feel like I'm in Miami or like an LA mall.
They had like nice outdoors, so Billy went into a couple stores. I was able to kind of chill in a few outdoor seated spots. We didn't go to a movie there, but their movie theater looks extremely nice. Billy actually got a concession stand item there, but
they had a Coke Zero fountain, and they actually had large frozen, but it was like actually American large, not Australian large.
And we decided not to eat there because Billy decided on the last couple days of vacation to start intermediate fasting. They have a really nice food court area, like especially for a mall. We didn't eat there. We ended up walking back to a place by our Airbnb. If you're looking for food, they have a really nice food court area.
Yeah, they're not like crappy places, you know, and it's certainly very, very nice. They kind of have them all segregated in between the mid-range stores, and then you go inside to the high-end stores like Gucci, Prada, whatever. So if you're more familiar with Australia brands, totally makes sense. Tim and I just don't have a lot of room in our suitcases, and we've spent a lot of money on this trip, so I didn't really care to buy anything. Certainly good shops. I would say it's a little bit better than the outlet mall just because of the niceness of it. But if you're looking for a deal, like, go to the outlet mall for sure, because they have very, very similar brands there. Anyway, we'll catch up with you guys later. I'm out here by Broad Beach this morning, which is right where our Airbnb is. I, as you guys know, get up way before Tim does in the morning. He has been getting up at like 4 a.m. though, because with the 14-hour difference, he has to get up back in Central Time, which is, you know, 4 a.m. and he has to be there while the market is still open. So he's been getting up, and I've been getting up, and then he goes back to bed while I go get coffee. Some things I want to mention though while I'm kind of by myself is coffee is definitely more expensive. They don't have chain coffees around here. Like, they have one Starbucks, which is like totally fine because it gives you the opportunity to go to local cafes and local coffee shops to try what they actually have. However, this morning I went to a place called Elk Espresso, which is right on the beach. Do not get the matcha. It was $8, total waste of money. It's the worst matcha I've ever had, and I feel really bad because I spent that much money on it. 7-Eleven coffee actually trumps the matcha, and I know they're different drinks, but just saying. It surprises me though, differences between Australia and the US. People are way more active here in comparison to the Midwest back home. Not so much speaking of people who live on the coast of Florida or California, because I think naturally the weather's nice, people walk more, they have their dogs. But here it is like an insane amount of people who are walking, jogging, exercising along the beach, and seemingly everybody has a dog. I know people aren't walking their cats, so there's no way I would see a cat, but a lot of people have a lot of dogs, which is great because I'm a dog person. And everybody's pretty fit. I don't want to stereotype Australians, but they definitely are way more tan, way more fit, and way more attractive. Tim might kind of kill me on that last comment. He probably won't even watch this video, so it's fine. I don't know why that is. Like, anywhere you go in the world, it's just like everybody's naturally attractive. And maybe it's because they're tan, and that gives them an advantage because, I mean, if you've got a deep tan, you kind of look more attractive than, I mean, at least I do. Not that that's the #1 thing, but it is crazy. And then people obviously have their kids. I think we mentioned this yesterday. I would take it as Gold Coast is certainly more of a vacation spot or a place you stop by on the weekend. I don't see any businesses around here. other than the hotels and the restaurants. I don't really know what you would do if you lived here, so it could make sense if you're retired. I still really like Gold Coast, but it doesn't have any kind of business aspect. Anything close to here is going to be in Brisbane, which is like an hour plus away. Certainly a very beautiful spot, very healthy, very active, but be careful with the coffee, because that's a tough one given how much you have to spend, and everybody just makes it differently. It's not like you go to Caribou and you know how they're going to make the coffee, or you go to Starbucks, you know how they're going to make the coffee. Like every cafe truly makes it different, from the matchas to the iced coffees to the teas. Everything's different. So my advice, if you find a place you like, maybe just keep going to that place. I was going to go to this place called, I think, the Milkman's Daughter, which was exceptional. I loved it. I was like, I want to try something new, and that was a waste. I am really excited though to get home, because as far as like business wise, it's really hard to have any kind of schedule when you're this many hours away. In Europe it's a lot easier because you have a 6 to 8 hour difference, so it's manageable. It's very, very difficult when you have this much of a time change, at least for me with what I do. And I'm a little bit in between careers perhaps, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but especially for Tim, I know it's been very hard for him to get up at 4 a.m, then try to go back to sleep, and then try to go to bed early because he's a late nighter. So if you guys are traveling for an extended amount of time and have to take your work with you, know that's kind of a problem. So I'm gonna sit here, enjoy the boardwalk, people watch a little bit, try to drink this matcha that is really, really not good. It's truly terrible. Cute spot, terrible matcha. And we'll see what we do the rest of the day. I'm so obsessed with these Coke Zeros. The first time I had one, he was in Melbourne, and because we don't have them back in the States, and they're 0 calories, so.
I think it's when we were driving to Melbourne. I think we stopped for the McDonald's.
Yeah, I think so. And I was like, what? They never have 0 calorie slushies except at some 7-Eleven. So I tried it and didn't like love it, but now I'm really hooked on them, because the more I've had them, the more I like them. Tim wasn't really crazy about it, which is fine. But anyhow, wanted to stop by because I've been trying to get one a day, and we are on our way to Mermaid Beach Putt Putt. Tim is a big Putt Putt fan, so it was a fair trade-off. I don't know if they're gonna be like the ones in the States. We'll figure it out, but it's a good day to get some putt putting in. I think this guy's gonna be the competitive one.
Just chill day.
You're not chill when it comes to putt putt.
I'm too tired to get in.
Oh, something was on the ground there. Let's go for your 5th hole in one. Did you get it? Nope.
Rattles. Attempt the first shot pulling the putter.
I found this whiskey bar at Gold Coast called the Loose Moose. It's really cute. There's this moose with his sunglasses. It has this really cool ambiance. There's a popcorn machine, a bunch of little light bulbs. I encourage you guys to stop here if you've got a chance. We're here right now trying to figure out what to order. Tim just put the menu down, but
It canceled me out for some reason.
it's the Wi-Fi here, if we have not mentioned, all over Australia is very, very, very poor for AT&T users. Not sure if it's different if you're like Verizon or whatnot. Moonshine.
It's supposed to be
Tennessee.
category ice. trying to figure out this online.
Oh, we love Whistle Pig. Whistle Pig is super
The
good.
Boss Hog Whistle Pig, 140 for a glass.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that one. That's a little out of budget. We're gonna try not to do an American one though, because we have tried some interesting
I wonder
ones
if
while
it's
we're
like,
here.
There we go. Okay, so it's like the other place. So you gotta click on like the
Area,
yeah.
the region.
Mm-hmm. They don't have any Australia whiskeys though here.
That's weird. Maybe
Maybe
World.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually,
Oh,
I
there.
tried an Indian one at when we were in Melbourne. It was really good. I don't remember the name of it. Tim took screenshots of everything. That one was exceptional, and I didn't even know India had whiskey. But
They have India here.
do they have the same one I tried in Melbourne at the whatever it was called? I don't remember the name. We completely wrapped up our trip of Australia, most importantly of Gold Coast. If you guys missed our other vlog out of Sydney, go check it out. I think Gold Coast is an amazing place to visit. In my opinion, I don't think it's a place you really need to visit often unless you live in Australia and want to go there for a quick weekend break, a little vacay break. There's not like a ton of stuff to do. It's really just relaxing spots. I think if you guys are going to come to Australia and have never been here before, certainly go to Sydney. There's lots of activities there, some historic stuff, just way more going on. Feel free to go there if you want to have more of a relaxing extension of your vacation, or if you've been to Australia before. I think before you go to Gold Coast, it would be worth visiting Perth or some other areas. I will let Tim give his opinion on it.
I think Billy pretty much hit on everything. It was nice. Like, there's a lot of good food there. We stayed in a pretty good spot where if you really didn't want to, we never would have had to drive, so I like that. And so that's why I like Sydney and Gold Coast the best. I would go Gold Coast over Melbourne. If you're wanting a little like cheap flights and just staying on like the east side of Australia, I would recommend Gold Coast over Melbourne just for a little of the beach vibes. Our Airbnb had a really good view. Thought the food was really good there. But yeah, it's kind of the best way I can describe it, and obviously I know it's not an island, would be kind of like if someone lives in Florida, maybe like the Keys, like they might go there like a Wednesday through Sunday or Thursday through Sunday. Definitely it's a really good, it's like kind of weekend destination to like kind of refresh and chill. But if you're looking to be like a tourist and really do a lot of things, Gold Coast probably is not the location for you. That would be Sydney. Even Melbourne, I think it'd be really hard to be really touristy. If I had to pick a place to live, I'd probably pick Melbourne. Place to visit again, I'd pick Sydney. A place where I just wanted to chill, I'd pick Gold Coast. So if you want like a few days just to reset during your vacation, go hit up Gold Coast, but I would not make that like the whole stint of your vacation.
Yeah, so Australia, beautiful place to visit, but based on your interests, please select wisely where you're going. It's very expensive to get here. The flight is very long, so just be strategic and keep in mind your interests, how much time you have, and how much of a budget you have as well. But we're gonna finish packing up. We've got a flight in a few hours. We're trying to get our seats upgraded. So if you guys haven't checked out our other vlogs or my vlogs individually, go ahead, check those out, subscribe, and we shall see you on the next one. Ciao!